Then I'm going to break down each of those 4 reasons. I'm going to explain why they're holding you back and what you can do to overcome them and start building real muscle today. I expect you feel like you're doing everything right. I expect you think you're working hard in the gym. And I expect you're pretty frustrated that you can't build a physique like you see all over social media. Well, I know exactly how you feel because I used to be in your position. I grew up a skinny kid with no muscle and 0 confidence. But I didn't have YouTube growing up. I didn't have videos like this. So it took me years of research, trial and error, and trying every diet and training split. But I eventually built the physique of my dreams. And in the last 5 years, I've helped over 100 other guys to do the same. So I can promise you, no, I can guarantee you that if you listen carefully and implement everything that I'm about to tell you in the next 10 minutes, you will build muscle and you will grow. Okay, let's get into it. Reason number 1, you're not eating enough. It is possible to build muscle in a negative energy balance, in a calorie deficit, but it's very hard and you can only build so much because you need the energy from your calories, the food that you eat to fuel your workout. And you need those workouts to be fueled properly so that you can train hard, so that you can train consistently, so that you can lift heavier weights for more reps, for longer and more often. But do not make the mistake that I made, eating everything in sight and putting on 20 kilos of fat without getting any stronger and calling it bulking. I recommend you put yourself into a calorie surplus, but only a small one, 5 to 10% above your maintenance calories. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then let me explain. Your maintenance calories is the number of calories you would need to eat to maintain your current weight and level of body fat. If you're eating less than that, you're in a deficit. If you're eating more, you're in a surplus. You want to be eating more. And if you want help calculate your maintenance calories and what your calorie surplus should be, then you can click the first link in the description of this video, use the free calculator I've built, and I'll email you your personalized results explaining everything. That calculator is also going to calculate your recommended protein intake, which is the second reason that skinny guys don't grow. So let's talk about that. Protein is essential for muscular growth because it provides the building blocks necessary for muscle repair and synthesis. Those building blocks are called amino acids. During muscle protein synthesis, those amino acids are assembled into new muscle proteins, and that leads to muscle growth. Lifting weights causes microscopic damage to muscle fibers. Protein is essential to repair that damage, ensuring that the muscles recover bigger and stronger than before to prevent the same damage from happening. Protein is also essential for preventing muscle catabolism, which is the breakdown of muscle tissue. Protein also stimulates the release of anabolic hormones like insulin and growth hormone, and those are both crucial for muscle growth. Consuming enough protein, particularly those rich in essential amino acids like leucine, triggers the process of muscle protein synthesis, which I spoke about a minute ago. And that process is vital for muscle repair and growth, especially after exercise. But what is adequate protein? How do you know if you're eating enough of it? How often should you eat it? And what are the best sources? As an absolute bare minimum, you should be aiming to eat 100 grams of protein a day. That might sound hard, but it only sounds hard because you've not done it before. I used to struggle with this too, but now I eat over 200 grams of protein a day without even trying. I've done another video showing you my diet for the day where I eat 204 grams of protein. So if you want, you can go and check that video out. 100 grams is the bare minimum, guys. The real target is to eat 1.5 to 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 80 kilograms, you should be eating at least 120 grams of protein, but ideally 160. The best sources of protein are complete proteins, most of which come from animals. And that's because they provide all of the essential amino acids in the right proportion. So you've got lean meat, both red and white, you've got fish, you've got milk, and you've got eggs. But some of my other favorite go-to sources are spinach, cheese, Greek yogurt, and peanut butter. And of course, failing that, you can supplement protein with bars and shakes. But if you're going to do that, don't buy the cheapest stuff on Amazon. Use a reputable brand and buy a whey isolate. Try to spread your protein intake out across the day. Although the latest scientific research is proving that this isn't as essential as we used to think it was, in my opinion, it's still best practice for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it keeps your body fueled with a constant stream of protein. Secondly, protein is more satiating than carbs and fats. It's going to keep you feeling fuller for longer. So it's going to keep your hunger and your cravings under control and stop you snacking on the rubbish. And thirdly, because protein has a higher thermic effect compared to fats and carbs, meaning it requires more energy to digest, absorb, and process. But if you feel like you're getting enough calories and that you're eating enough protein, then perhaps it's reason number 3, that you're not training with a high enough intensity. And personally, this is what held me back for so many years. I was convinced that I was training hard enough, but I wasn't. So here's how I would structure your workout routine. Train all the major muscle groups twice a week. Your legs, your back, your chest, your shoulders, and your arms. I would do this in one of 3 ways. The first option is to run a 4-day upper, lower split with a rest day in the middle. Or you could do a 5-day push, legs, pull, upper, lower split with a rest after the push, legs, pull, and then again after the lower. Or a 6-day push, legs, pull with a rest day in the middle. Aim to hit every working muscle with 15 to 20 working sets per week across those sessions. Make sure you're prioritizing compound movements. Your squats, your deadlifts, your lunges, your push-ups, your pull-ups, your dips, your rows, and your overhead press. That's because these use multiple muscles and multiple joints. Train your legs hard, but not just to grow your legs. Also because training legs stimulates the release of testosterone and human growth hormone into your bloodstream naturally. Progressively overload. You should be increasing your training volume over time. Let me explain. If, for example, you can bench press 60 kilos for 10 reps and you do 3 sets, your bench press volume is those 3 figures multiplied together. So 60 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 3. 60 times 10 is 600, times by 3 is 1800. So that means your bench press volume is 1,800 kilos. Next time you want to beat that, most obvious way to do that, lift heavier weights. So do that and maintain the 3 sets of 10 reps until you can't do it anymore with good form. Then work on increasing the reps, or even add an extra set, or try a substitute exercise. So instead of a bench press, look around your gym and see if it's got a machine that works the same muscle in the same plane. Next up, control your reps. Guys, do not ego lift. If you're swinging dumbbells or dropping weight or doing half reps, you are not going to grow because you're not using your muscles, or at least not the muscles you want to be using. You're probably using your joints. You should be in control of the weight and not the other way around. And listen, girls don't like it. You probably get hurt and you're not going to make any progress. So last but not least, the 4th reason why skinny guys can't grow: inadequate recovery. If you're still watching and you can honestly say that you're doing everything else I've talked about right, you're eating in a consistent small calorie surplus, you're getting enough protein each day, 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight, and you're getting the right type of protein, you're genuinely training hard enough, you're not ego lifting and you're progressively overloading, then your lack of progress is down to your recovery. Aside from a few genetic freaks, if you want to build muscle, if you want to grow, if you want to get swole, not get lean by the way, if you want to build, then you need to be taking regular rest days and even deload weeks from time to time. But more important than rest days, you need to be prioritizing your sleep. I used to think that sleep, nutrition, and movement were all equally important when it comes to your health. As I get older myself and as I coach more people over the years, I've come to believe that sleep is the most important element to your health above everything else. Sleep is when your brain and body resets and charges up. It's when your hormones are brought back into balance. Bad sleep, particularly chronically bad sleep, is going to significantly impact your stress levels, your energy levels, and your hunger levels. But in this context, most importantly, it's going to negatively affect your testosterone levels. And low testosterone is going to make it so much harder for you to build real muscle. Everyone says to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, but truth be told, if the sleep quality is high enough, then 7 is more than enough. And let's be honest, who the heck is sleeping 9 hours a night? So how do we work on our sleep quality? Well, first and foremost, you want your room to be cold, you want your room to be dark, and you also want to invest in a good set of earplugs. That's the quick, easy, and obvious fixes. An even better investment that has an even bigger ROI is investing in a great bed, mattress, pillows, and bedding. This might cost you £1,000 or $1,000 up front, but if you think about it, all of that stuff is going to last you 5, if not 10 years. So if you spread that cost over 1,000 nights, it's only costing you £1 a day. And like I said, the ROI is even bigger because this stuff is going to move the needle on your sleep quality even more. If you sleep better, you're going to have more energy, more drive, you're going to be more productive, you're going to have better relationships, you're going to earn more money, and you'll build more muscle. And the last thing that you can do to improve your sleep quality is to implement what I call the 3-2-1 rule. This is where you stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed, you stop drinking 2 hours before you go to bed, and you come off your phones 1 hour before you bed. Very simply put, that's because digestion is a metabolic process that raises your heart rate. And if your heart rate is raised, it's impossible for you to fall into that deep REM sleep. Drinking water before bed is going to wake you up in the night, and your phones, your laptops, your TVs emit blue light, which is preventing the production of melatonin, which is your sleep hormone. The other big thing that can slow down your gains, partly because it's going to negatively affect your sleep quality and partly because of its chemical makeup and the fact that it is literally poison, is alcohol. If you've tried everything and you cannot grow, give up alcohol for 3 months. Implement all of this, and it is physically impossible for you not to build muscle. In fact, you'll probably get into the best shape of your life. So there you have it, guys. If you've stuck around to the end, then I truly hope you found this video useful. I really do understand the frustration. I remember it vividly. But I promise you that your lack of gains is coming down to at least one of these 4 things. If you're really honest with yourself and implement everything, I can guarantee that you'll start making significant progress in a short amount of time. And that's all you need, really, a little bit of momentum. Because once your brain has evidence that this works, you'll go all in. It's how we're wired as humans. As soon as we get a little bit of self-belief, it's like our mind lets go a little bit and progress becomes exponential. Anyway, I'll leave this video here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch it. If you have enjoyed it, if you have found it useful, I would absolutely love it if you could smash the thumbs up button and of course, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next video. And until the next one, bye.